all remember our first Mario game. Most people played Super Mario Bros., Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, New Super Mario Bros., some maybe even started with Mario Odyssey. For the month of October, I wanted to make videos about our favorite Italian plumber to celebrate the release of Mario Wonder, which I will call Mario Month. And for the first video of Mario Month, I wanted to talk about the game that I started playing, the first Mario game I ever played, which is none of the games I listed at all. Instead, I and many others started with what is considered the black sheep of the 3D Mario games. Mario's entry on the Nintendo GameCube, where the plumber tries to go on a friendly vacation and is forced by the judicial system to clean up an entire island. Thrilling gameplay idea. Community service? Ship it out! I am, of course, talking about Super Mario Sunshine. I have so many memories with this game, as this was the first Mario game I grew up with, and beat 100%. It's a charming Mario game, one that has a lot of love put into it, and one that I put hours and hours into. But also, it's a game that I wanted to take out of my GameCube, or my Switch if I use the rare Mario 3D All-Stars copy, and just chuck it into a wood chipper. The amount of frustration I had with this game cranked up to 11. So much so that I even blocked it out of my memory at points. I'm not kidding. The earliest hardcore memory I have with this game is waking up one day deciding to be like, oh yeah, let me 100% Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. And then I turn on the game to realize that I already did. I had a file completely 100% done, and I didn't remember doing it. I blacked it all out. How did 9-year-old me do this? But despite the janky mess that this game can be, I still love this game? But why? Why is this game both so loved and so hated? And not only by this sorry old bald man, but a lot of people. It's a classic, and many people either love the game with all their hearts or despise it. I'm gonna find out why. Despite its reputation and how it can be, let's talk about Super Mario Sunshine, the good and the bad, and how it's one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. Even though I blocked it all out. Well, I'm sure I'll remember something about it. This is Super Mario Sunshine. Or should I say,
Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
That never gets old. We start with Mario Sunshine as Mario, Princess Peach, and Toadsworth decide to go on vacation to the tropical paradise of Isle Delfino, an island filled with these Pianta inhabitants with trees on their heads. Cute design. They get there to find that the island is not only being destroyed by icky paint-like goop, but that someone has impersonated Mario and framed him. All of this leads to Mario getting put on trial and arrested, where he's guilty before proven innocent and forced to clean the island and collect every Shine Sprite, the power stars of Isle Delfino. Who knew Sunshine would be my first exposure to a corrupt legal system? It's a heck of a convoluted way to make all this happen. Usually Mario is the type of guy who will just help people, but the city literally puts the guy through jail time to get this all done. Like, jeez. It's surreal to see Mario behind bars, even to this day. Also, this is the first Mario game to have legit voice acting, other than the wahoos and all that. It's kind of jarring and, to be honest, a bit weird with its delivery sometimes. I don't know, it's fun enough that I can quote it as much as I can.
What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
But basically, the goal is to clean up the island and collect the Shine Sprites. But how exactly are you going to do that? Are you just gonna jump on everything and hope it cleans itself up? Nah, this is where the new game mechanic for Sunshine exclusively comes in. Using F.L.U.D. F.L.U.D, or the Flash Liquid Ultra Dousing Device, is an artificial water spray that Mario can use to clean the island. Mario can spray at objects or switch to the hover nozzle, which he can use F.L.U.D as a water-spewing jetpack to get around and hover. Writing is hard, okay? He also can talk, but honestly, not that much. You hear him say a few lines in cutscenes, and he'll give you some tips during your gameplay, but those are all in text, not with voice acting. You hear him go, Mario, but that's about it. It's nothing super negative, it just seems like, why give him voice acting at all? Why make him a living character and not really give him much to say, other than the occasional tip? Maybe they were worried people would react like how they reacted to Navi in Ocarina of Time, and they didn't want a whole voice-acted version of that to happen with Mario. I mean, F.L.U.D constantly talking to you, every time you did something? Imagine what that would be like.
Mario, this is the rocket nozzle. Please equip it to go to extreme heights. Mario, make sure you don't fall off the blooper or you will immediately perish. Mario, the watermelon exploded. You are a failure. Mario, I need you to, as they say, get good. Mario, what kind of machines and a miserable game I feel he has a better chance than the
Yeah, that would suck. But how is Fludd when it comes to gameplay? How does it make it different from previous Mario games? Well, he adds quite a different mechanic with Mario, as oftentimes in 64, the plumber would just jump, long jump, and jump some more. With Fludd, however, he could help you make more careful moves, as if you didn't quite make a jump, you could hover to get more height or distance. You also, of course, have to use the cleaner to take care of a bunch of goop, spray water at enemies, and visit the worlds around you, while dealing with Shadow Mario, which, by the way, looks nothing like Mario. That's Mario. That's Mario. That's Luigi. He's not in this game, but that's not Mario. That's not even a shadow. He should be called Jello Mario or something. He looks too tasty. One of my favorite things about Sunshine is the theme of a tropical island. Everything just looks so sunny, and I love the whole aesthetic of the area. The sun really pops, everything looks and feels tropical, and the water. The fact that the water looked this good on a GameCube game. Oh, it's so beautiful. I just want to float in it forever. Or drink it, but I don't think you're supposed to drink seawater. It really does make you feel like you're taking a vacation, and I would want to relax in this place in real life if it existed. It feels like less jumbled levels and more like one connected area, mostly because you can see other areas in the distance of levels, which is a really nice touch. It feels like living, breathing places with monuments, hidden secrets, and people. Lots of people hanging around that you can talk to. Helps really make the island feel alive and more fun to explore in. From the peaceful Bianco Hills, the hustle and bustle of Rico Harbor, the relaxing sands of Gelato Beach, the wild rides of Pina Park, waterfalls of Noki Bay, the ghostly hotel of Serena Beach, and the calmness of Pianta Village. And similar to 64, you get to them by jumping into graffiti. I mean, graffiti is technically a form of a painting, right? You can also go down pipes, get launched out of a cannon, or even stare at the sun to teleport. I remember using that method to get to work.
Mario, praise the sun.
And the music, what do I even say? If you played this game, the Delfino Plaza music is already in your head. It's one of the most iconic songs in the game. It's the fan favorite. It's just pure melodic magic. It perfectly incorporates the theme of the game and of the main area. And that's just the hub world. You have tunes for Rico Harbor that has more of a sea vibe to it. Pina Park feels like you're in more of a fun attraction. Serena Beach has more of an ominous tone, like there's something in the shadows. Every song is just musical bliss that is perfect for their setting. Although I feel like I'm forgetting one song. It'll come back, I'm sure. As for what you do in those worlds, the main thing, as I've stated before, is collecting the shine sprites in order to power the island and literally make it sunnier. Literally. The visual progress of collecting a bunch of shine sprites to make the island brighter is such a genius and subtle way of showing your progress. I love it. Also, it's cool that you can interact with the fruit in the homeworld too.
Mario, get the banana. Get the banana, Mario. The banana.
Okay, Fludd, we're done with the bit. You can stop now.
Potassium.
And we collect shine sprites by completing certain challenges similar to Mario 64. Make it to the end of a level, fight a boss, collect 8 red coins, ride a sandbird, glitch through a Ferris wheel, race a guy with a bucket on its hat, chase Jello Mario like 100 times. Seriously, so many times. You get a nice variety of tasks for each level you do. Some of them can be standard, and some of them can be very weird. Like fighting a paper-thin manta ray heading towards a hotel that may or may not be a reference to The Shining. Again, some strange missions for sure. You also have additional nozzles that help you with these missions. such as the rocket nozzle, which sends you high in the air, and the turbo nozzle, which makes you go speeds that rival the blue hedgehog. You even have Yoshi as well, which you can unlock by giving fruit to an egg. How does he eat it? And you can use Yoshi to eat certain objects and vomit on certain objects. You have quite a bit to do in this game, and a lot of these levels are fantastic. But what a lot of people remember are the difficulty spikes that some of these levels have. Holy crap, some of these levels really go hard for no reason. And they can really be infuriating. There's nothing wrong with a challenge, don't get me wrong. But the problems with a lot of these challenges is random unbalanced difficulty spikes combined with the jankiness of the game. I can list so many levels that gave me frustration as a kid and that still give me frustration playing it now. No time like the present. Having to bring a giant watermelon over the top of the mountain over a very narrow bridge while having to avoid active cataquacks. Having to clean up 90% of the area in the Serena Beach. Using Yoshi to ride platforms that he has to barf on in order to make happen. Riding a roller coaster to hit balloons of Bowser Jr. Trying to collect 8 red coins while riding a blooper and then collecting the Shine Sprite while riding the same blooper and dying if you crash into anything. Riding the Sandbird, collecting red coins on the pirate ship, surviving without F.L.U.D. in the Goopy Inferno, trying to steer a boat with the water jetpack through boiling lava. Pachinko machine! There's a lot to get frustrated about. And I still feel like there's something I haven't talked about yet. Something that fills me with frustration and dread that even the music is enough to set me off. These levels, these secret levels, they have been the bane of my existence. You enter a level that has the word secret in it. Immediate red flag. And suddenly, Shadow Mario steals F.L.U.D. And you are back to regular jumparoo Mario. I know this is typical for the plumber, but for someone who has never played a Mario game before this especially, and grew up and got used to the F.L.U.D controls, the ghosts of Mario still haunt me to this day. This is where your platforming skills are put to the test, and you have to be a lot more precise with these jumps. Pulling all sorts of wall jumps, walking on rotating platforms, walking on disappearing platforms, and if you don't know what you're doing, your lives will easily plummet, and you'll hear a game over jingle before you know it. And there's at least 1 to 2 secret levels in a major area. The Hillside Cave secret, the secret of Rico Tower, the Yoshi Go-Round secret, the Shell secret is one of the hardest in the game that requires you to patiently go through each and every jumping maneuver. If you rush, you die. If you take too long, you die. You die, you die, you die! And everyone fears, everyone cowers over the 3 terrifying words ever to be uttered by a large plant head with a Squidward nose. I'm a chuckster. Ah!
Mario, I'm a chuckster.
Would you get out of here? These levels are difficult. Not impossible, as they can be done with trial and error if you're persistent enough, but it still can feel disheartening to constantly die over and over. But I will admit, like a difficult boss in Cuphead facing their end, there is quite the rewarding feeling of beating these levels. They really test you and you have to jump like a maniac to get them completed. Is it disheartening to get a game over and have to start all the way back in Delfino Plaza? Yes! But it kind of makes it more satisfying when you do beat it. Plus, it does teach you to not rely on F.L.U.D when you're platforming, which can certainly be done. After all, it's been done long before this game. This may be because I've played these torture chambers for literal years now, decades even. But I don't know. It's not perfect, but maybe I feel a soft spot for them. Or maybe they just don't faze me anymore. Also, despite how it always makes me feel, the music for these levels are so catchy. I'm a huge sucker for acapella, and despite the dread it makes me feel, it's enjoyable to my ears at least. But that's gone too at one point, as if you want to 100% the game, you have to do the levels again. The second time with F.L.U.D, but also collecting all 8 red coins, with no catchy music, and a time limit. It's so fun! Yeah, 100%ing this game is kind of the worst. It's incredibly infuriating with not only the difficulty alone, but the glitchiness, jankiness of the controls and game don't help either. Or do they? Mario Sunshine is a bit of a glitchy mess. It's technically finished, but there are times where you'll glitch into a wall, the camera will get all buggy, you'll fall off random objects, or this will happen. The game can be buggy as heck, and while that would normally be a negative, and it can be, it's not if you know how to use it to your advantage. A lot of the times, there are skips you can do that can actually help you get through the level faster, or avoid annoying segments of the level entirely, like clipping with a banana to get to the pool, or wall jumping over the curtain into the casino. This has made the game quite well known in the speedrunning community, and a lot of people have done runs on the game because of it, bringing life to the game and making people want to play it in new ways. I even had some fun trying some skips myself, like wall jumping onto the curtain earlier, and climbing onto the palm tree and jumping to skip onto the Goopy Inferno. There's even normal tricks that you can do for the challenging levels too. I was able to get Chuckster done on my first try, just because I was just hitting the timing right. And the Pachinko level, one of the most infamous levels in the entire game, I was able to get done my third try, just by using a trick a friend taught me just a few days ago. My younger self would have been flabbergasted. The lily pad level still sucks, and there's videos upon videos of how people can perform skips and race through this game. It could be a topic of its own if I wanted it to be. And it really is admiring that a game that is over 20 years old is still relevant in certain communities, and people still look back on it. And regardless if you're a speedrunner or not, regardless of how you feel about the difficulty, regardless of how this game probably made me lose so much hair than I already have, I still have a soft spot for this game, and I love it. This game has so much going for it. It has so much of the Mario charm that we love and adore. It introduced a lot to the Mario universe, such as Bowser Jr., Toadsworth, even giving the scratchy voice to the Toads we all know and love. I think that was first introduced in the game. The charm of the setting combined with the variety of puzzles, and even the difficulty make it all interesting, fun, and even a unique Mario chapter in his gaming repertoire. Is it perfect? Not at all. There's a lot of things wrong with it. And I can see why a lot of people don't want to replay it or even give it a try. But it's special to me. It's my first Mario game, the one I grew up with, the one I know inside and out, and want to learn something new every time I play it. It may not be polished, but Super Mario Sunshine shines in its own way. It just needs a little cleaning up. Wow, that was a nice trip down memory lane, and a great way to start Mario Month. I can't wait to take a look at more Mario games throughout the month of October. What will we be looking at? Well, stay tuned. What do you think of Mario Sunshine? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button and stay tuned for more videos.
Mario, have you ever heard about Roe Dubs? Please check out their channel and subscribe.
Okay, Flood.